everybody. If you're new or returning, welcome back, everybody. What I would like to do for you guys today is I want to go ahead and put a Halloween design on the back of my jacket. We're just going to straight stitch it to the back of my jacket. Maybe in the future I might make a patch just to see how that turns out, but today we're just going to straight stitch it on the jacket. So we are going to be using the 6.25 by 8.25 mighty hoop here, and I am going to be using some cutaway stabilizer. I already have it hooked up to the back of my jacket. You want to hear that? Make sure it's taut like a drum. And the embroidery design is already loaded into the RICOMA MT1501. So let's head on over to our embroidery machine and get this design stitched out. Remember, guys, for me, like, share, and subscribe. And let's get started with this video. All right, everybody, embroidery is done. Let's get it off that frame and see what it looks like. All right, everybody. So this is the finished design right here. I had to switch over to voiceover because I don't know what's going on, but my software is doing some strange things. So as you can see, it turned out really, really, really nice. I love it. This is the Do I Look Like a People Person embroidery design that I did pick up, I believe, from embroiderydesigns.com. I told you guys that I have so many designs that I have collected over the years from when I first had my home embroidery machine. And yeah, I just go in there and see what's in there and pick out something that I like, and we do it up. So this is again what it turned out to look like. I think this stitch out is just so beautiful and it suits me just fine. All right. Now this is what the back of the design looks like on top of the cutaway stabilizer. As you can see, it came out really, really nice. It looks like I have my tension set up really, really good. You got to just keep honing in on your tension, you guys. Don't think it's something wrong with your machine, or don't think that it's this thread or that thread. It all really boils down to your tension, or either you got something going on with the way your bobbin is wound if you're winding your own bobbins. So now we're going to head on over to the craft table. I'm going to show you guys how to cut out the cut out the embroidery design from the cutaway stabilizer. And yeah, then we'll be all done with this design. So I'm just going to grab my scissors here and we're going to cut from the back of the jacket. I'm going to hold up my cutaway stabilizer so that I can see the bottom of the jacket. And you want to do it this way versus having your cutaway stabilizer laying down and cut with the jacket face down, because you don't want to go ahead and you might accidentally cut through your jacket or whatever you might be embroidering on. So you want to always hold up your stabilizer where you can see the embroidery design on the bottom, and you want to cut out your design that way. Again, you guys, this is how the design turned out, and that's just another anime design that I did previously put on my jacket that I got off of Etsy sometime in the past. Yes, I'm just steady trying to add more designs to my jacket to get it all embroidered up, because you know what? I love embroidery, you guys. Now, again, my name is Tracy with JDL Threads. I want to thank you guys for joining me in today's video. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.